Imagine having the life of your dreams. Not temporary cash and glory, but happiness and inner peace. Explore new ways to be a creator and take your own journey into greatness. Is it possible? What does it take to make that happen? It takes the person known for extreme results. He's called the cage breaker and the ultimate catalyst. Coming back from the brink of death and now crushing it for himself and his clients, this is Your Ultimate Life Podcast with Kellan Fluckiger.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Your Ultimate Life. We are all about 7 episodes about integrity. Integrity is one of my favorite topics. Maybe because so much of my life I didn't understand it, and I certainly didn't live in integrity. And that's both painful to admit, only not really, because it was a powerful learning opportunity and experience for me. And I share that with you because I know so many people I talk to, they come from a place of, they look at what has happened to them or what they have done that they're not happy about or maybe not proud of, and they believe some version of it's too late, or I'm not okay, or, you know, this wonderful opportunity of having ultimate anything is for somebody else, and they believe some version of that story. And my own experience teaches me that's not true. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast. And I say every time, it doesn't matter where you've been or what's happened to you. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What matters is the direction you choose to go at this minute. So if you're down or you've been down, low, hurt, sad, you can go up. If you've been up and then you fell down, you can go up. Where you are right now is not anywhere near as important as where you choose to go. One of the fundamental truths that it took me a million years to learn was that yesterday doesn't decide today. I couldn't get past that. I thought, okay, because this happened, I did this, and I did that, I'm never going to be okay. If you follow my story, I was married and divorced 3 times because of my depression, and I didn't know how to be a decent partner. The one gal that I was married to, she used to, tell the kids, you're grounded like forever, eternal punishment. Everything was so violently big in her mind, betrayal, absolute whatever. And there's lots of people that feel that way. When they are emotionally hurt or betrayed, they feel like the only adequate punishment is for someone to be brutally tortured, I don't know, actually or emotionally or something, and they're looking to somehow assuage the pain that they have experienced from whatever that person did. And we know that even if someone is hurt, if someone hurts you really bad, and then somebody goes and beats them up or does something to them, that doesn't take away your pain. And, I've seen movies and read books, and I'm sure you have too, where, someone is out on a long quest of revenge or vengeance because some evil person did whatever they did, and they seek them and they fight and then this and that and on and on and on. And finally they get their vengeance and they imprison or even take the life of the terrible person. And then when it's over, it's like nothing's changed. They don't feel vindicated. They don't feel like the pain's gone. It didn't work. And so that's the truth. We sometimes lash out because we want somebody to be hurt because they've hurt us, but it doesn't take away our pain. So when we have that situation, we don't want to allow for or admit that there is a possibility of going up, up, up. The beauty of how God built the world is that tomorrow is always blank. Today is always blank until you write it. Like I'm talking to you right now and the next second is blank. Now I use a moment. We all use the word moment and live in each moment, live for the moment, live in the moment, all that jazz. I have defined moment. Moment is 8.64 seconds. It's arbitrary and it's kind of funny. There's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 24 hours in a day. 60 times 60 times 24 is 86,400 seconds in a day. And I decided, there should be 10,000 moments in a day. And that means a moment is 8.64 seconds, right? Funny, arbitrary, but you know what? 8.64 seconds is long enough to be meaningful, to understand what a moment is, get your hands around it and your teeth into it. And it's short enough also to be a moment. So I think of it that way. And here's what I want to tell you. No matter where you've been, no matter what has happened to you, up is available. A blank page is available the next hour, the next minute. If you've had a terrible relationship with integrity like I have had, I don't now, but like I had, you can fix it. I am living proof of that, and I am not special. I am who I am. I'm Kellan. I've wandered this minefield of depression, of addictions, of broken relationships, of having done things that if I knew better, I wouldn't have done. But here now in 2021, I wouldn't change any of that. That thorny, rocky, painful path has made me who I am today, which is one who is patient, who is loving, who is full of empathy, and has a tremendous desire to help you listening and anyone who wants to create the ultimate life of purpose, prosperity, and joy that I now know we can only create by serving with our divine gifts. Anything short of that is empty. All the money in the world is empty without purpose, without connecting to your divine origin, without doing something good with who you are and what you have. So no matter where you've been or what your relationship with integrity has been now, you can build it, change it, fix it, and so forth. So let's talk about the third stone in this essential pillar of integrity. Now, integrity means consistency. You are what you seem to be. You do what you say. If someone looks at your posts online, meets you in person, talks to you on a good day, talks to you on a bad day, talks to people who know you, there is consistency. You are in integrity with how you present yourself. Now, if you present yourself as a person who's a cheat and a crook and takes advantage of someone, then acting like that is certainly consistent with that. That's not about creating your ultimate life, so I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm talking about defining some principles, accepting and adopting some principles that we talked about, like in the pillar of truth, that principles are the guiding truths of the universe. Love is the most empowering and powerful force in the universe. It even says in some scripture, somewhere God is love. It is true. We were conceived in love. We were created in love. We are destined to be glorified by love if we allow it. The rub is that there will be no force. We will not be forced by the Creator to do anything. And I've finally figured out why that is. Sometimes people say, how come God allows this, that, and the other, these terrible things to go on? Force will never work because that means we didn't make something out of ourselves, right? The only thing that counts is what we make out of ourselves. Now, and that is where integrity comes in, because integrity, it defines you, right? You pick the things you want to be. You create a personal truth and commitment statement. I read someone's I am statement online today. He's a friend, he's a coach, I know him well, and he wrote the things that he ascribes to, and they're powerful. And he says who he is. Now, I know him, and I know without question that if I ask him if he lives that perfectly, he'd freely and instantly admit no. But that would not prevent him or me, and it shouldn't prevent you from making those awesome declarations, creating the principles and the truths of integrity, doing exactly what you say, being transparent and clear. I do what I say, I am who I seem, with no camouflage, duplicity, or guile. That's the way I define integrity, and it's part of my personal truth statement. I am integrity. I do what I say. I am who I seem, with no camouflage, duplicity, or guile. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, from the top of my head, and in every cell in my body. That's who I am. And I don't pretend in any universe to be perfect. So when there's a mess to do that, then I rush to fix it, clean up the mess, and then be that again. be that in all clarity and truth and honesty, not to beat my chest or to brag, but because that's who I've decided to be. And you have not only the right, but the obligation to choose and declare what you want to be, who you are. So if someone asks you, or someone asks about you, what do you want them to say? Oh, yeah, he's the guy that, and then they describe you. Or she's the gal that, and then they describe you. What do you want those words to be, really? And then the question is, are you living with your actions in accordance with that? And when you fail, like we all do you clean it up? Do you repair what needs to be repaired? Do you recommit? Do you fix, mend, repair your agreements and keep them? That is integrity, and it is a foundation piece of creating the palace of power and of having your ultimate life. And there's lots of reasons for that. Integrity carries immense power. I don't know if you've ever known someone, but whenever they say something, you absolutely know it's going to happen because they said so, and you don't even think about it again. That person has power because their word creates things, and everybody that works with them knows that. Oh, so-and-so said it, it's going to happen. Okay, who are you? Are you dependable? Are you not just sometimes? Are you absolutely your word? And if you're not, okay, like I said, the direction matters more than anything. Are you intentionally moving in the direction of being that more and more? And here's the question that I always ask my clients and myself. You know, we hide things from each other, and we sometimes hide things from ourselves, although not really successfully very long. But God, the divine, he sees everything. There's no hiding there. Nothing that you do, think, say, or even feel or pretend in your inmost heart is hidden from the divine. So when God looks at me, what does he see? What does God see? Am I truthful? Am I capable? Am I doing what I said I was going to do? Am I growing? Am I adding good to the world? Am I really helping people to live the ultimate life? Am I doing that? Am I cleaning up things that are not right and recommitting and moving back and forward with all my heart, might, mind, and strength, as it says in one of the scriptures somewhere? And if I'm not, then I'm not in integrity. And again, that's not a catastrophe. It's a point for correction. What I used to do is when I made mistakes, I would scream and yell at myself emotionally, beat myself up, feel terrible, angry, vicious, frustrated, even violent sometimes toward myself. And that was just devastating. Sometimes it would be days before I could get up, clean myself off, and start over again. And somehow I viewed that self-flagellation, self-mutilation as an appropriate response to the mistake that I'd made. Well, you know what? It's not our purview to judge. Now, in the New Testament, in the Bible somewhere, I think Jesus said, "Judge not that ye be not judged, for with that same judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged." And there's some more, and I don't remember it all, but I remember that. And that includes ourselves. So if we spend time like I used to, hating ourselves, judging with vicious, unforgiving bitterness, well, we're never going to get any better. And you know what? I don't see either when Christ lived or other spiritual leaders or God stepping down and, pounding people when they do things. There's invitation, there's opportunity for change and growth. So your integrity helps you become who you want to be. Your consistency. That doesn't mean perfection. It means the effort is consistent. That's why I love the coaching framework, the coaching container so much, because I get to go to my coach, talk about the things that I am trying, that I'm doing, that I say I'm going to do this, and I do it, and then we assess, did it work? Did it not work? Did I really do it all the way? Did I hedge my bets? Did I fail? Was I playing games a little? And if I did, why? What is the story? What is the fear? What's going on that makes it not all in, that makes it not real? Right? When you are full of integrity and you are consistent, you do what you say and you pick those principles that you're going to live by, and that's who you are and what you do, you are a force to be reckoned with. And not only other people around you, but the very universe takes note of that. That is the genesis for what Walden said about when you move boldly in the direction of your dreams, things change. The universe seems to adopt a different stance toward you. I would urge you to look that up on the internet. Walden, in the book Walden Pond, when he came out of there, he said, "I've learned this by my experiment, that when one moves boldly in the direction of his dreams, or their dreams," look that quote up and it'll give you the whole thing. And it talks about some discoveries that he has. And that whole set of discoveries has been repeated by many others and even written into books like, The Secret and the Law of Attraction and so forth, because people consistently do that. And the universe energetically takes notice. And things correspond and align for your good. I know that sounds weird, but it happens. I've seen it happen to me. I've seen it happen to others, and it will happen for you. So let your integrity define you. Choose the principles that you commit to because you said so, not because somebody told you you had to. Choose who you're going to be. Declare it, and then let that integrity define you as you create your ultimate life.
Open your heart and this time around.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope that you take it deeply into your heart and decide for yourself how you can create anything you desire. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback and topic suggestions. Until tomorrow, this is Your Ultimate Life with host Kellan Fluckiger.
Stand with your heart in the sky.